I'm Trent, and this is Vision Preparedness. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody is having an amazing Thursday. And welcome in, Teresa. Good to see you. My man, Dan H. Good to see you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Ghost Lincoln, what's going on with you? Good to see you as well. Y'all come on in here and sit on down and get comfortable. Canajan, good to see you, my friend from up north. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing well. My man, Devil Dog Prepper in the house. Good to see you. Hope you're having a great evening. Hope you had a fantastic day. Who else we got coming on up on in here? We got a whole bunch of folks. The Virginia Bushcrafter. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing well. Dominique, good to see you as well, my friend. Good to see you. Modi Soldier is in the house. Good to see you, my brother. I hope all is well with you. And if I could get a 5x5 to make sure that I am not talking to myself, then we'll be okay. Prepper Chick in Texas. Good to see you and welcome in. Loretta, good to see you. I hope you're doing well, my sister, and I'm continuing to keep you in my prayers. I hope you're doing well today. Rip Curl Readiness in the house. Good to see you, my friend. KP, welcome in. She is Sunshine. Good to see you as well. I hope you've had an amazing Thursday. She said, there she is, she said, hello everyone, at work, we'll watch the replay. Glad you stopped in, she said, hope you're doing well. Dominique says, I'm feeling comfy. There you go, ain't nothing wrong with it. Good to see you too, Rip Curl, welcome in. Terry Johnson, how are you this evening? Good to see you. JJ in the house. Welcome in. Y'all are piling in this evening. Thank you for the 5x5, Ghost Lincoln. Thank you, Scott Hummer. Good to see you. Hope you had a good day today too, my brother. Bug Out Adventures. Welcome. Thank you for the 5x5, Loretta, Rip Curl. Virginia Bushcrafter, Devil Dog, the Prepared Irishman is in the house. My friend, my brother, good to see you. I hope you had an amazing day as well. Karen, welcome in. She said, made it. So glad to make the beginning. Hello, everyone, and 5x5. Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you so much for the 5x5, everybody. I'm glad I am not talking to myself. Happy Mac, welcome in. He says, I am melting. Yeah, you guys, you folks down there, wherever in the southern states, Texas, and all over the southern half of the United States, please stay hydrated. Please stay well hydrated so that you do not deal with dehydration, which could cause melting. Good evening. Whiteside Tactical Solutions, good evening and welcome and thank you for the 5x5. Goose, good to see you. all the way from New Mexico. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well and having a great evening. Glad to see everybody. I missed you guys. It's been like I hadn't seen you forever, and it's only been a couple of days. Independent Mini United. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing well. Welcome back, Teresa. Good to see you as well. So tonight, folks, we got a topic that is what it's all about and what we do. And we may have a guest. I'm not sure. It depends. If not, that's fine. If so, that's even wonderful. Bats, good to see you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing well. Prepping 101. And I've been thinking about this for a while and talked to some of the other content creators, and they're getting back to basics because I truly believe we are going to be coming up upon the time when our prepping, gardening, 2A skills may have to come into play. And I just want to do reminders. And I know we have a lot of new people to the prepping community. So I'm just going to start with some basics. So those of you in the chat that are seasoned or well on your way to being prepared and have great comments, great ideas and things you do, absolutely wonderful. You can contribute too. I'm going to go through some basics and we're going to have us a conversation. Parabellum Prepper, my man, is in the building. Good to see you, my brother. I hope you are doing well on this Thursday evening. So before we dive into it, how's everybody's week been? Anybody just want to sit back and breathe for a minute? Because that's how I felt this week. But it's okay. I'm in the process of cutting and splitting wood, and everything is moving along. Whiteside Tactical Solutions says, I have my pen and paper ready to take notes. There you go, my brother. There you go. And again, folks, if you have questions, you can hit the question box in the top of the chat, or you can type in all caps with QQQ in the front. And if any of my amazing moderators are in the chat, please remind me if I miss a question. Happy Santiago, good to see you this evening. I hope you are doing well. Hope you are doing well. Dominique says, yep, I'm new to preparedness is what it was. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Mac says, some of the things in the wind aren't sounding so nice, prepping extra early for winter here. I'm with you, Happy Mac, and I am doing the same. And that is why I am cutting wood now so it can be dried for at least 2 months before I have to burn it. Don't have to, but I will because I like the smell of it and all those good things that go along with it in the evening, at night, downstairs in the basement. Yes. So I hope everybody's doing well. So my big thing this week is I'm cutting and splitting wood. That's it. That's the number one goal outside of getting prepared to send Junior off to college and do all those wonderful dad duties that we do for our children. And life is good. And yes, Prepper Chicken Texas said, I need wood also. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So folks, let's start this out. And those that are seasoned in the prepping community can chime in and help out in the chat with this. So I have my list of top 5 things when prepping 101. First of all is water, and we'll get into a little more details of each of these topics tonight because that's where I want to go. Water, food, shelter, security, and communications. Those are my top 5. Now, in the chat, you folks may have different top 5, but those are my top 5. Water, which is number 1, because we all know you can only go 3 days without water before complications set in. Water, food, shelter, security, and communications. And my goal for this year, I'm working heavy on communications, as well as everything else. Now, in the prepping community, if you're new to prepping, we always say 2 is 1, 1 is none. So you always want to have backups to your backups, if necessary. Take, for example, electric. Unless you have your own off-grid system, which is absolutely awesome, that is good. Parabellum Prepper says, water, I live on Lake Erie. There you go. There you go. So let's just take electricity. So we're all tied into the grid for now. Exactly, Scott. I'm going to talk about PACE. And since you mentioned it, I will go ahead and talk about PACE. PACE, folks, is a military term. And a lot of you military guys know that PACE stands for primary, alternative, contingency, and emergency. Backups. Those are the series of backups. Your primary source, then you have an alternate source, then you have a contingency source, and then you have an emergency source. So that's everything I do is based on the PACE methodology. Okay. Thank you, Virginia Bushcrafter. Hey, those are my top 5. And in my top 5, I stick to it, and everything is prepped based on those. Devil Dog says, Parabellum, I work on Lake Erie. There you go. Jason and VA, shalom to you, my brother. I hope you're doing well and having an amazing Thursday. So, and with the PACE methodology, I'll just take one example of it. Electricity. So electric. We all need electric for one thing or another, if not everything. So my primary, which is being connected to the electrical grid and through the local power company. Okay, that's my primary. Let's say the electrical grid goes down. Okay, so now I need to go to my alternative. My alternative would be my GenRec generator, which is a whole house generator that's connected to my house. That's my alternative. Okay. My contingency would be my solar generators, and I have multiples. So based on what the need is, my contingency and emergency can blend together based on power source needed, what needs to be powered, and how long my primary and alternative have been down. So everything can fluctuate. You may go from primary straight to emergency. It just depends on how you prep. Rubia, good to see you. Welcome in. Saffron Bay, good to see you. And I'm seeing a lot of great comments in the chat, and you guys are absolutely right. Skills are very important as well. So that is the PACE methodology based on just one thing, which would be electricity. I hope that makes sense. Sounds good, Saffron Bay. Sounds good. I'm glad you're here for the moment. And there you go. Santiago, absolutely. Absolutely. That way you have multiple backups to your primary. Okay, so everything that I'm going to talk about, everything I'm going to do is based on that. But I use the PACE methodology. I prep by it. I actually live by that as well. So with that, let's dive into some of these things. The first thing in which I consider most important is water. And this is one of the classes that I have designed that we're bringing to an online platform. And I'm going to share a snippet of it today because water is very important. We all know that we can only go with uh, 3 days of water. Okay. Now, before I get into that, here is the rule of threes. Okay. The rule of threes, which is very important as well. 3 minutes of air, 3 hours of shelter in adverse weather, 3 days of water, and 3 weeks of food. Those are the rules of life. Okay, folks? So within the rule of threes, 3 minutes of air, 3 hours of shelter in adverse weather, 3 days of water, 3 weeks of food, then you begin to have problems with all of that. So I want to talk about water first. And these numbers are based on the US averages. Okay. You know how much water you guys use in a day and you just have to figure out per person. And then I'll share with you things like that. So real large percentage here. How much water does a 2-person household use? On an average in the US, water use at home, this is water from your tap, the toilet, dishwasher, everything you use water for in your house. This all adds up to about 138 gallons per household per day. Or in other words, because we're basing this on a 2-person household, this is about 60 gallons per person per day. Now, your water intake could be more or less. Outlaw Jackson, welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. And anybody else that I missed, welcome in. Y Crew, welcome in. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well this evening as well. My man, Outlaw, this sip is for you. There you go, folks. Good. Know how much water you use a day, folks. If you have that figured out, depending on how many people live in your house, you can take that and multiply that out, and you can pretty much figure out how much water you need to store for 3 months, 6 months, a year. I personally, when it comes to preparedness, this is just my personal opinion. Everybody should prep for a minimum, I think, 6 months. Some say 3 months. The US, what is that? FEMA and all that say 3 weeks. That's out the door. Forget that. I say a minimum of a month, 3 months, 6 months, and the goal is to have a year's worth of food and water. Okay. Absolutely, Dan. You got that right, my friend. Coffee is just brown water. Absolutely. Dahlia, welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see you. Parabellum says 138, or who's throwing off this average. I ain't got no 138 gallon a day job. That's for damn sure. I'm with you. And this is an average across the US households of two people. So take it for what it's worth. Scott says, thank you for your message, Trent. Vision Preparedness, especially your calm, common sense delivery. I really appreciate you, sir. Scott, you're more than welcome. And folks, I'm going to comment on this. Y'all know me. Y'all have seen, y'all have been, a lot of y'all met me in person at the Bug Out Weekend. Number one, you will never hear me preaching gloom and doom. Number two, I will always tell you exactly what I do. When I tell you something, if I'm not doing it, I'm not going to talk about it. And always, please, please, please stay within your budget. That's the first and foremost. Do what you can, because I can only do what I can. So I don't expect anybody to do more than what they can if I can't do more than what I can, if that makes sense. Then again, it may not, and I may just be overthinking it or jump down a rabbit hole and I'm looking for Dan H to throw me a rope so I can climb up it. But other than that, folks, yeah, water. So on an average, 60 gallons of water per day. Now that includes everything: drinking, cleaning, washing, hygiene. That's the whole gambit of using water per person. Okay. Now, with that, on an average, and you guys have to help me on this because I think this number's high. And it says on the average person uses 101 gallons of water per day for everything, for cleaning, hygiene, drinking, going to the bathroom, doing whatever. 101 gallons. I think that is a little high and way high. I'm with you, Outlaw Jackson. Yes. Some wasteful. Yes, exactly. Yes, I agree with you, Outlaw. Devil Dog, my man, doing what I can, bruh. Thank you so much for the donations. Um, you guys know I will never solicit for money because I'm not here for money. Thank you. All donations that we get here go back into the channel for amazing things for everybody, including Bug Out Weekend, which I'm planning for next year already. I do not have a date yet, but I'm working on that stuff. And Devil Dog, it is much appreciated, my brother, and thank you so much. But yes, Outlaw, I believe I agree with you that the numbers, they're being skewed by folks that are wasting water. So with water, and let's just say this. Let's go with and here's some other numbers to kind of justify that 101 gallons use of water per day. Here's just some background information. If somebody in your house, they take a bath, okay? A full bath of water is about 36 gallons, okay? For all of us shower people, a 10-minute shower is about 20 gallons of water, okay? We all know that I think the average toilet flush is a gallon. So an average daily toilet flush is anywhere between 19 and 24 gallons of water. A load of in the washing machine, that's 15 gallons. The average dishwasher cycle is somewhere between 4 and 10 gallons of water. The average person drinks about a gallon of water a day and uses about 3 gallons of water for hygiene. So that spreads it out a little bit more. Yeah. JJ, hope you're doing well, my brother. Good to see you as well. Fallen Skies Homestead and Preparedness channel. Good evening. Yep. Thank you, Dan. Right. Most toilets are a gallon per flush. That's 191. Still sounds high. It does. And here's the thing, y'all. When it comes to, and if you're trying to conserve water, if it's in the toilet and it's yellow, let it mellow and leave it there until you have to. And that's just my 2 cents worth. Rub it together and it still won't make a nickel. I saw some comments in here. Virginia Bushcrafter says, vision for the whole gamut. Yes, I can see 60 gallons a day. Yep. And Psalms 146. Good to see you. If I did not speak to you, I'm so sorry, sister. She said, I think that the people they got the data from are running a car wash out of their house. And that would not surprise me. Not surprise me at all. So with water, folks, so two types of water. You want to prep drinking and cooking water and what I call brown water, other water, water from the tap. I have 1 gallon jugs that I store also for hygiene, flushing the toilet, doing dishes, stuff like that, that came out of straight out of the tap. Yes, as Parabellum says, if it's yellow, leave it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Learned in the Bahamas. Exactly. So, set aside your water based on your household. Okay. Drinking, cooking, cleaning, hygiene, and other stuff. Okay. I don't want to dive too deep into water, but also know how to filter water and purify water. We all know that we can boil water, and I'm going to share this chart with you. You can boil water, and it'll pretty much take care of everything. You can also use bleach in water, and I'm going to share this chart. I'm trying to remember who I got this chart from because I think I got it from the Angry Prepper. And this will talk about how much bleach to use per amount of water. So let me share this. Yes. So let me know if you can see this. And I'll make this bigger. There we go. Miss D's Hollywood Garden, good to see you. Good to see you. Can everybody see this chart? So basically, this is a basic chart that talks about using bleach. And there's 6% bleach and there's 8.25% bleach that you can get. So with this, for a quart or a liter of water, using 6% bleach, you want to use 2 drops of bleach. And once you do that, you want to, stir it up and let it sit anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour before you use it. And Psalms 146 says, I didn't know there were 2 different bleaches. Yeah, there's a percentages of that. Yes, Dan. But yeah, 6% bleach and 8.2% bleach. And folks, don't get the Senate bleach if you're going to use bleach to sanitize water. But here's a chart. So a basic 1 gallon of water, if you use 6% bleach, you want to use 8 drops of it. If you use the 8.25% concentration of bleach, you can use 6 drops. Okay. Exactly, Dan. Exactly. Make sure that it is not scented bleach. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Karen says, if you live in the South or on the coast where there are really high humidity, get a dehumidifier and you can get up to 3 gallons of H2O a day. That is absolutely right, Karen. Absolutely. And Happy Mac says, just remember to keep the lid off of the treated water so the chlorine leaves and the water will taste and smell fine. Absolutely, Happy Mac. Absolutely. So, folks, this is just a basic guide of how much bleach to water to use. And if any of you want a hard copy of this, you can email me at visionpreparedness@gmail.com and I'll email you this PDF as well. So, that's water. So basically, how much water do you store? Okay. Based on the average that you use in your household. Okay. That's how much water you should store. I say again, start small and build up on it and rotate your water as you use it. I have well water. I have a filtration system on my well water. In the kitchen, I also have a reverse osmosis system that we can drink out of that as well. The Educated Natural, good to see you. Good to see you. Ghost asks, do you still need to sterilize water from a dehumidifier? I would, just because it's coming out of a machine. I would still sterilize it, Ghost. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Parabellum says Clorox bleach is 7.5%. There you go. There you go. He just checked, he said. Awesome. 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 Dan H says bleach is only good for about 6 months before it starts to off gas and loses potency. That is absolutely right. And I was going to mention that, Dan, and thank you for that. Bleach is only good for 6 months before it does start to off gas, folks. So keep that in mind as well. So with the water, so let's just say the average person uses 60 gallons of water per day for everything. One person. Take that 60, multiply it by how many people are in your family, and do a rough estimate. That's how much water your family would use in a day. And that includes everything. Cooking, cleaning, hygiene, drinking. 46 Camper, good to see you. You're never late. You're all right. Come on in here, have a seat down. So yeah, water is very important, folks, and make sure you have plenty of it so that you can do the things that need to be done. Modi Soldier says, does it gas off if you never break the seal? If I am not mistaken, it does still break down even if you don't break the seal, Modi Soldier. It does. It just doesn't have a long shelf life. Dave Simmons, welcome, my friend. Welcome. Welcome in. Devil Dog Prepper says 2 liter full of water in the toilet tank helps save water when flushing, but also a play to store some drinking water. That's true too. And Parabellum Prepper says, yes, it does still gas off. Yep. Yep. It'll bloat the plastic, he said. Right. You'll see it start to expand. But yes, it degrades. Absolutely, Devil Dog or Outlaw Jackson. I'm sorry. Yes, it does. It begins to degrade, not just gas off. Red Scout, welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. No problem, Modi Soldier. No problem. And no problem asking. There are no questions that you don't have to ask. You can ask as many questions as you want to. Two questions. Saffron Bay says, we were discussing how to know much of each food item to stock per person, etc. Um, Saffron Bay, we'll get into that. Um, Stocking food, I would say, is based on calories and intake, and you always want to collect those and store those foods that have high calories, your pastas, your soups, your proteins, and things like that. And we'll get right into that. Jammer WV, good to see you. I hope you are doing well. JJ says, hey VP, just curious, how you doing with your solar power setup? I'm getting there, JJ. Not where I want to be yet because I have moved that down on the priority list and I'm working on some comms that I need to do first. But the solar setup is pretty much all on paper. It's just a matter of putting the components and pricing everything out and hoping I hit the mega millions. But I think you have to play in order to win. So I doubt if that's going to happen. So, folks, that's basically how you plan out your water. First, you need to figure out how much water each individual in your house consumes a day, and then multiply that by the number of people. Then that gives you your total daily consumption. And then you can multiply that number by 7, then that's your weekly, and so forth and so on until you get to the number of how much water you want to store. Like I said, for as far as water goes, I would keep a minimum. And like I said, I have well water here. I have a filtration system on the well water, and I have a reverse osmosis system in the kitchen. Plus, I store bottled water as well. And folks, if you're going to store water, I would highly recommend storing it in an area where the temperature doesn't fluctuate a lot, preferably in a cool area and a dark area where you can keep the water. And Ghost Lincoln says iodine trench 5 drops in a quart of water. Let sit for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Yes, you can use iodine to purify the water as well. You've got your Sawyer minis, you got your Life straws, you have your Berkey water filters. If you have a Berkey, you're good to go. As far as filtering it and sanitizing and sterilizing. Jammer WV. Yep, ham license is coming, as well as some other gear for that. You're absolutely right. Paul J. Conroy Sr., good evening. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And for anybody else I may have missed coming in, good to see you. Welcome in. Have a seat down. So, with water, folks, that is the number one prep. Please take that as seriously as can be, because without it, you will be in a world of hurt in a short amount of time. You can treat water to purify it. You can use bleach. You can use chlorine dioxide. You can use iodine to kill bacteria and viruses in the waters. You can filter with all types of filtration systems that are out there as well. And you really, really, really want to pay attention to your water. Water is life, folks. Water is life. Okay. Red Scout, I have my faith. My faith is what guides me. And as I don't think it's controversial. I have faith. But the book also says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So, yes, I'm with you, my brother. Grace Grimes, welcome in. Good to see you as well. God is always, he's not my prep, he's my life. Okay, Red Scout. Right. Yes. So with that, let's move on down the list here. Food. And I know who was that? Saffron Bay talked about food and wanted to know what kind of food to store. Okay. Do you know how much food you have and how long you and your family can survive without leaving the house? Okay. Protein. Um, and this is generic. Everybody has their food sources that they like to prep. And I will say this: when it comes to fruits and vegetables, everybody should be growing something. You should be growing something. Grow your own fruits and vegetables, because it may come down to that's the only way you're going to get fruits and vegetables unless you can barter. Psalms 146, Home and Garden says, I've had a big problem with water storage. Had a few gallons stocked up, but one by one, the jugs just randomly started leaking out of the jugs, even though they were sealed and had not been tampered with. Psalms 143. I heard Dan say you can store water in 2-liter soda bottles designed to store acidic liquids so the plastic is more durable. That is true. Um, Steve's Creative Sessions. Welcome in, my brother. Welcome in. Runny Outdoors. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Psalms 146. Depending on the jugs, you may want to get heavier jugs of water. Um, and I'm not even going to go into getting the 55-gallon blue plastic containers, because now you got to treat that water and so forth and so on. But yes, Dan made a very good point. You can store it in two-liter soda bottles because that plastic is designed for acidics. Welcome in, everybody. Good to see everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. Little housekeeping note for the content creators in the chat. If you type the word vision, it will drop a link to your channel. Folks, check out everybody else's channel. There are some great content creators in the chat. Go over, please, check out a video, hit the like button on the video, leave a comment. You can even tell them I sent you. And if you like the content and what they're doing, subscribe to their channel. That's how everybody grows. Nobody grows by themselves. We all grow together. And that is a wonderful thing. Thank you very much, Runny. I'm doing great. How are you doing? I like the name, and I am definitely going to have to check that out. And I see some of your content, and I like that. That's good. That's good. Good to see you as well, my friend. Please tell Suze I said hello, and much love to both of y'all. And please make sure, Ronnie, you type vision so it drops a link to your channel. Folks, this gentleman right here is amazing, and he's across the pond. He is a great friend. He is a great man, and he does amazing things. And I'm not going to let the cat out the bag. Go check out his channel for sure, folks. But yes, food, folks. Food is life. So, protein, canned foods, freeze-dried foods, frozen foods, dehydrated foods, beans, rice, pasta. Whatever you eat, prep. Now, here's how I do mine. I have, of course, in the kitchen, I have a pantry, which is our day-to-day pantry. We eat out, we stock, we eat from it. I also have a prep room that has everything else in it, and it stays there. So when something runs out in the pantry upstairs, we can go to the prep room, get something else or another, and bring it up, put it in the pantry, and go forth. So when I go to the store, I'm replenishing the prep room as well as the pantry upstairs as well. So I have per se two pantries, a prep pantry and a day-to-day pantry that everybody eats from. We cook, things when we cook meals. That's how we do it. Okay. I also am a big, a big advocate for vacuum sealed foods. If you're going to freeze your foods, folks, please, please, please vacuum seal them first. I bought a vacuum sealer off of Amazon, and I vacuum seal everything before it goes in the freezer, period, because it'll stay in there indefinitely and it will not get freezer burn. And a resilient dad is in the house, tapping in from the Bay with much respect. I've been looking forward to this live. I appreciate you, resilient dad. He's an amazing brother and a good friend of mine. And as always, thank you for the donation and the support that you give to the channel and to myself and my family. I appreciate you, a resilient dad. My man, ARD. Thank you for your donation. Take care, Ghost. Be safe and do whatever you got to do. XNYC Prepper in the house. Good to see you, my friend. So, folks, we have our pantry. We have our proteins, canned goods. Check the best by dates on the canned goods. Okay. I've noticed over the last couple of months, canned goods have had some canned goods have had shorter expiration dates. Always look at the expiration dates before you buy them. Hopefully you'll see some that have anywhere from 2 years to 3 years. Get them. But everything that goes in I have a freezer, a dedicated 22 cubic foot upright freezer in my garage that all the frozen foods go into, as well as the freezer and the refrigerator in the kitchen. So everything that goes in the freezer gets vacuum sealed. I wrap mine in parchment paper first before I put it in a vacuum seal bag, just because you don't have to. I vacuum seal meat. Right. Yep. Will last years and be yummy. You're absolutely right, Happy Mac. Once it's vacuum sealed and put in the freezer, I literally can forget about it until I want to eat it. And that's how I treat all of my frozen foods, even vegetables. Even vegetables I grow in my garden, if I freeze them, they get vacuum sealed. Then I put them into the freezer. My Renaissance grandma, I believe you. I'm with you. Those shorter expiration dates are probably intentional. Yeah. And folks, we all know canned goods, unless the can is damaged, the food is not going to go bad. But just be aware of the expiration dates. Even with an expiration date, the food is not bad. It just may lose some of its taste, its color, or some of the nutritional value in it. So keep that in mind, just in case. And that's it. Canned goods will last forever. Okay. So basically, then we have beans and pasta and rice. Okay. 5-gallon bucket, 5-gallon bucket from Lowe's or Home Depot, Mylar bag. You can put, 5-gallon Mylar bag. You can get 5 pounds of rice, put it in the Mylar bag, seal it. You can throw some oxygen absorbers in there, press it down, put the lid on it, And that's what I call long-term storage. So for long-term storage, meaning 25 years or more, dehydrated foods and Mylar bagged foods that have been vacuum sealed in a Mylar bag, poured, put in there, put in a 5-gallon bucket. That's what I call deep food storage. Okay. And I have that. And in those, I have rice, sugar, what else? Flour. Okay. And I even break them down into smaller 1-gallon Mylar bags. That way I don't have to break open a 5-gallon Mylar bag if I need to get sugar or something like that out of it. Runny Outdoors says, "Hey Trent, now the tables have turned, my friend. Now I can learn from you in regards to my stealth camping." There you go. Hey, whatever I can do for you, Runny, you know I will. MREs, guys and ladies, if you want to store MREs, you can get MREs. So that's what you got to do. If that's what you need, do it. But for as far as storing food, here's what you need, and keep this in mind: calorie intake. The average person uses anywhere from 1,500 to 2,200 calories per day. That's why I say protein, canned foods, freeze dried foods, beans, rice, pasta. Get the high calorie foods and store those. Whatever your daily consumption is, base everything on what your daily consumption is. Okay. Main dish, your canned goods now, 2 groups: main dish, side dish, proteins and vegetables. Okay. How many cans does it take to feed your family? Absolutely, Devil Dog. Beans and rice combined equal a whole protein. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And keep your cans and I think XNYC Prepper says keep your cans in a dry, non-humid place because they will rust. That's right. Steady temperature, cool, cover them if you can, if you want to. And Dan says if you get MREs, they have to be stored at 50 degrees for the longest shelf life, max 19 years. 46 Camper says, so as a prepper, I thought I planned and prepared for most everything. Wrong. Not necessary. 46 Camper, you're not wrong. And there's things that I don't prep for. There's things I miss, or I may think of something like, man, why didn't I think of that? And then do it. And that's just the way it is. Jammer WV said, what about keeping potatoes for drying out in the heat of the summer? Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if you grow your own potatoes. Now, I'm going to jump to this real quick because Camper or Jammer WV said potatoes. I have canned potatoes myself in mason jars in the pressure cooker, and canned jarred canned potatoes myself. They're sitting on the shelf in the pantry. And if you have a canner, get on it and start canning. I started canning last year and I love it. Sister Marie's Kitchen, listening on my way home. Please be safe on your way home. Good to see you as well. I can potatoes, folks. If you can get a canner or have a canner, can everything you can. Do it. I have canned meat. I've canned chicken. I've canned Angus beef, and it's sitting in my shelf in the pantry, ready to go. But yes, folks, so you want to make sure that you are prepping high calorie foods, anywhere from 1,500 to 2,200 calories a person uses per day. Okay. Calculate how many cans of vegetables will it take to feed your family. And my example, as always, is my 18-year-old football player. Okay. When it's just him and myself eating, I know I have to fix 2 cans of green beans because number one, green beans are his favorite vegetable, and he will eat green beans until the cows come home. So, and he loves rice. So those are his two staples: green beans and rice. He will eat them until the cows come home, and then you can throw in homemade French fries. He's always there. And Karen, very good. Don't forget dehydration also. Less weight, last years. Absolutely. I have a dehydrator, Karen. Have never even used it yet, but I'm definitely going to be using it this summer. Um, Devil Dog says, personally, canned food tastes so much better than store bought canned food. Absolutely right, Devil Dog. You're absolutely correct. So, folks, can what you can. You can get a pressure canner off of Amazon, start canning your own food, get a case of mason jars and lids, and do your thing. Get a vacuum sealer, okay? Freeze dried foods. I would love to have a freeze dryer, and I'm thinking if possibly next year I'm buying a freeze dryer. Then I can do my own freeze dried foods. Happy Max says, I love the things that last the longest without much fuss, like rice, pasta, and beans, are cheaper and calorie dense. Absolutely, Happy Mac. 46 Camper said, I thought that my relationship was solid, and why not? We were together for 12 years. There you go. He said, that said, I lost everything as far as my food preps and vacuum sealer for the last few months. Been going through a nasty breakup. 46 Camper, I'm sorry to hear that. And I will definitely keep you in my prayers, and do what you can. That's all I can say. Do what you can, because that's all we can do. Is we can only do what we can. Um, there you go. Said I do have my pressure canner. Start canning. Can everything you can. So, folks, freeze dried foods, they're expensive, but they work. I'm a nutrient survival guy. I buy nutrient survival. I have it. And if you want nutrient survival, folks, you don't have to use my affiliate link, but you can use the coupon code Vision10. That will save you 10% on whatever you buy from Nutrient Survival. And I got some things, a video I'm working on. Nutrient Survival has some new products out that I'm getting ready to do a video on, hopefully tomorrow, and drop that over the weekend and go from there. Again, vacuum seal your foods, can your foods, use Mylar bags, 5-gallon buckets, um, and so forth and so on. Use those, people. They actually work. And that's for long-term food storage, which is what you want. And with that, those are the things do. And Prepper Chicken Texas said, I can all the time and have started getting freeze dried foods. Right. Freeze dried foods. I like nutrient survival. I've had a couple of the others, but I like nutrient survival. And that's what I use for my freeze dried foods and my long term storage with that. Plus, I like their coffee. And for all of you coffee guys out there that do drink or have tried Nutrient Survival, they have a new coffee out, and I'll be dropping a video on that hopefully tomorrow. But folks, You want to make sure you're storing high calorie foods, preferably easy beans and rice. Now, if you store 100 pounds of rice, you better have 100 pounds of something to go with that rice, because for whatever reason, if you have to eat rice for a month or two, you're going to be not, you're going to be miserable. So make sure that you're combining things that you can mix and use with the rice, other side dishes, other vegetables, pastas, and things like that, that do work. Okay. So, those are just some of the ideas. Um, and we could be here all night and talk about this. Now, food, water, shelter, your house. If you know your house needs some types of repairs, if you can afford it, do the repairs. Get that stuff done to the house now. Now, I know in next month it is, I'm having chimney swifts come in and clean my chimney, because I in the wintertime, I burn my wood burning stove all winter. So I'm having that coming in, having that cleaned out. Um, Dan, don't steal my thunder. Don't steal my thunder, bruh. But yes, you are absolutely correct. Yes. Um, and Psalms 146, Home and Garden, says 100 pounds of rice may seem like a lot to some, but my family of four can go through that bag in 1 month. Absolutely right. Psalms 146. Right. I'm with you. I have in storage that's not being touched right around 200 pounds of rice, just stored, mylar bagged, 5-gallon buckets, put away just for rice. And I have rice and flour and cane sugar put away. That's hadn't been touched and it won't be touched. And Devil Dog Prepper says, while we have the ability and time, print off recipes for meals with what items I prep. That is an amazing idea, Devil Dog, and thank you for sharing that. Happy Max says tarps for roof emergency storms and wild wind can peel it off in a few seconds. You're absolutely right, Happy Mac. And that's, see, folks, this is why. Do I know everything? Absolutely not. Um, Everybody in the chat contributes, and that's what I like about it. Everybody has ideas and things they've done, and they prep, because I don't have all the answers, and I will never tell you I have all the answers. And if I tell you I have all the answers, run from me. But I do not have all the answers. That's why we all come together collectively to learn, to share ideas, to share skills and techniques that everybody has. And I saw a comment from Paul. Um, right, you can freeze vegetables. Yes, you can. Absolutely, Paul. I have a freezer full of vegetables that I froze that came straight out of my garden. Prepper Chicken Texas says, I have notebooks of things I've learned from videos plus recipes. Absolutely. That's how we do it, folks. That's how we learn. But, put together those recipes that you can mix your preps together with to make a meal to feed your family. Pasta is one of the easiest things to store, as well as beans and rice. I bought 1 gallon uh, mylar bags so I can break down flour by cups, and I write on the mylar bags how many cups, and I have it broken down into, I think, 4 cups of flour and 2 cups of flour, as well as rice and sugar. And I put all of those 1 gallon mylar bags into a 5-gallon bucket and seal it. Jones Truth, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yep. And as Karen says, If you're going to freeze, blanch first to maintain color and flavor. Yep, very good, very good. Yes, you're absolutely right, Karen. And folks, this is what it's all about. So those for those of you that are new to prepping or just want to hear different things on prepping and how to store and prep food for your family, this is why I'm doing this prepping 101. And I'm going to be doing more of this because I truly believe it's necessary. Paul says, "Don't forget your coffee, dude. You know I prep coffee. You should know that because Paul at the bug out weekend gave me a case of coffee. Thank you so much. Yes, Paul. Don't forget the coffee, folks. Um, right, exactly, Jones Truth. I do too. Vacuum seal rice. Yep, I vacuum seal it and I put it in Mylar bags as well. Yes. She is sunshine. She says, I'm in Texas and I have over 20 gallons of water, some freeze-dried foods and solar generators in case of emergency, but I have so much more I need to get on top of. And she is sunshine. That's what it's all about. And all of you know, you can email me at any time if you have questions or anything. Visionpreparedness@gmail.com. She is sunshine. You're what you just said, you're 90% ahead of the majority of the people in the country. Because I can tell you right now, 90% of the people in the country do not have 20 gallons of water right now that is stored if the water lines went dry this very moment. Black Guns and Gardens, I see you sneak in here, brother. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well, man. Do me a favor, Black Guns and Gardens, type vision and drop your link. Folks, this man right here has the most amazing backyard I've seen in 20 years. You need to go check him out. And again, for all the content creators, um, type the word vision. It'll drop a link to your channel. Folks, go check them out. Like their videos, watch their videos, subscribe to their channel if you have not. Devil Dog Prepper says also, just a suggestion, buy wheat berries, right, and grind your flour as needed. Wheat berries shelf life much longer and higher in nutrition than store-bought flour. Right, as your standards, great place to buy them from. Thank you for that, Devil Dog Prepper. I'm actually going to write that down. As your standards, because in my cart, my Amazon cart, I have a grinder for wheat berries. Azure Standards, wheat berries. And folks, you can store wheat berries in Mylar bags, 5-gallon bucket, oxygen absorber, and put them away and they'll last forever. Thank you for that, Devil Dog. I appreciate that, my brother. But folks, you know, that's also, like I said, now I can't say this enough. Grow your own foods. Get your seeds. Protect your seeds. Keep your seeds in a dark, cool place. Get heirloom seeds if you can. And you know, She is Sunshine said, I have coffee and tobacco seeds. I plan on growing and bartering with all you nicotine and coffee fiends. Hey, those are great bartering tools. And I haven't even talked about bartering, but I did a video. It's in our playlist on bartering items. But those are amazing bartering items. You're absolutely right. She is Sunshine. And folks, this is how um, that's the way to do it. Hey, there you go. XNYC Prepper says Black Guns and Garden are like he likes your channel. Keep up the good work. Yeah, folks, this is how we all grow together. Nobody got here by themselves. Butter Roll Boutique, good to see you. How are you this evening? Welcome in, welcome in. Glad you're here. And by the way, folks, also, if you could do me a favor, make sure you hit the like button. And if you like, share this live out with somebody who you've been talking to or know that needs to start preparing because the world is not getting any better anytime soon. Um, Dan H says you can also grind your favorite rice into flour also. Absolutely. Absolutely. My Renaissance grandma says Azure Standard has almost everything you need in bulk. You can choose what price is convenient for your wallet. Thank you for letting me know, my Renaissance grandma. I will be checking them out this weekend. See, that's how we all grow and learn, folks. Um, so keep in mind the number one thing about your food storage, canned goods. I know it takes up room, and if you live in an apartment, find room. If you have an extra bedroom, an extra closet, turn it into a prep room, and start buying. If you can, shelving and store it wherever you can. Store it under the bed. Find places that normally stay vacant or empty, store it in there. I would definitely use every inch possible. If you live in a small confined apartment or condo, and even if you don't have a basement where you live, store your food where you can. That's do the best you can. Maybe you have people in your group, you can store stuff at their house. Um, that's how you can do it. But just keep in mind, folks, um, food is life, water is life, and we need to keep prepping and keep storing. And so that's food, water, shelter. I touched on it. Make the house repairs that you can now to your house. Know what needs fixed. You know, if your furnace needs maintenance or cleaned, get it done now before winter sets in, before you turn it on and the furnace goes out. If you have leaking roof, look into getting that fixed. Don't forget, clean your gutters out. Fall is approaching quickly. This is July already. Fall is approaching already. Dan said, make a root cellar. You can make a cheap, easy root cellar by digging a hole in the ground, take a galvanized trash can and set it down in there, seal it up, and there you go. Um, XT Lala, good to see you and welcome in. If I missed speaking to you, which I know you did, you snuck in here. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. But folks, get the things done to your house now in the event that it can't be done later. Food, water, shelter, security. Make sure your house is secure. Have the tools necessary to protect yourself. Don't care what it is. We all know. I could go down the list here of everybody in the chat that is also 2A. And if you're not, that's okay. If you want to learn, check out some of these other people. You can email me. I'm not a 2A specialist, but I will protect me and mine at all cost. Food, water, shelter, security, communications. What are you going to do if cell phone towers go down? You have to have an alternate means of communication or plan in place. So if that happens, everybody knows what to do. Okay. Ham radios, get your license. You've got ham radios, GMRS radios, FRS radios, CB radios, everything you can for other means of communications if cell phone towers go down and if landlines go down. That's what we need to do, folks. Those are my top 5 preps. Okay. And what time is it? Wow, it's 9:17. Let me see if we have any other questions. 3 questions. If you have questions, folks, type them in the chat in all caps. Um, but this was just a basic 101 that we can do, you can do, and into Q&A, which we will do. Any questions for me, folks? Anything you want to ask, anything you need to you want to share with the community? Because I don't know everything, but I thought this would get everybody thinking, and that's what I always want to do, because our mind is our number one prep, folks. And I have friends in my circle that we're always talking about prepping, and when I see deals on food, I buy it, and then I send out a text. 46 camper, there you go. Hey, type vision 46 camper, so it drops a link to your channel, and we can all check it out, subscribe, and do what needs to be done. You don't have any content now, but you will, and that's fine. Jones Truth asks a good question. What percentage of your earnings should go into prepping? Is there an amount you should consider? Jones Truth, I'll say this, and I'll make it easy because I want everybody to stay within their means and within their budget. When you go to the grocery store, okay, and you buy groceries, either you do it weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, however you do it, and get an extra 1 or 2 of this or that, okay? Anytime you see 10 for 10, I'm going to literally get 2 of everything. When you see the 10 for $10, I'm going to double that. I personally, this is just me, Jones Truth. I don't have a percentage of earnings. When I go to the grocery store, if I know I'm spending $200 or $300 or whatever it is, it's what you can afford. I'll say that. That is the easiest way. Put some back. At minimum, get 1 extra and just put it away. If you can afford 2 or 3, do that. And Dan is absolutely right. It's whatever you can afford. Easiest way is buy one, get one free deals. Absolutely. Buy one, get one free, especially for meat. When you see buy one, get one free, do it. I have done that in so many times. And XNYC Prepper says, if you have no money for prepping, go to the food pantries. They give cans and foods away for free. Don't be so proud. You need to do it in an emergency for you and your family. Right. Food pantries also. And the Prepared Irishman says, don't forget to have a rotation system for your food preps. Absolutely right. Like I said, Prepared Irishman, how I do mine is when I run out of something in my pantry upstairs, the pantry we eat out of, live out of day to day, before I get it from the store, I'll come down here and rotate out those preps upstairs. And then when I go to the grocery store to buy stuff, I replenish my prep room down here. And that's how I do it. Country Hustle 101. Welcome in. Good to see you. But folks, stay within your means. If you can only afford one, get one. If you can get 2, get 2. Stay within your budget by all means. That's what I tell anybody, and I'm speaking to myself, because I'll get the side eye every now and again, be like, Why are you buying that? And normally my answer is because I want to, and then I'll duck. But then I'm like, you're right. It's not in the budget this month, so I'll wait till next month. And but stay within your budget, folks. Stay within your means. That's for sure. But prep intentionally, prep with purpose, because your family depends on it. And we all depend on it. And that's just how I am. It took me a while to get where I'm at. And my goal, this is just my personal goal, is 1 year's worth of prep to feed my family. And I'm almost there. 1 year's worth of food to prep. Go back. I had a video that I did with Prepper Nerd. Prepper Nerd literally created an online, and now there's an offline version of a prepping system. You got to have some way to keep track. And I got tired of using an Excel spreadsheet. And I use Prepper Nerd system. I did a live and gave away a subscription to it. And that's how I can tell exactly what I have of what, how many calories, how long the food will last. And that's a whole nother thing. You can go through the playlists. I think it's the live playlist I did with Prepper Nerd, and watch that. His system is well worth it, period. Who was that? Modi Soldier said, I need Mo Means vision. Right. Exactly. So, right, Modi Soldier. That's what I do, folks. And is my way the right way? It is for me. I hope it at least got everybody thinking of how they do it. Dan H says, Vision, you can always tell the COOZ that Dan told me to. Might go over better. Yeah, right. And and she will say, Dan, is Dan paying for this? Yeah, that's going to be the first thing out her mouth. Is Dan paying for this? Yeah, Devil Dog Prepper, his system, I use it. I swear by it. And once you start getting your inventory into it, dude, it gives you a dashboard that literally shows you how many days all your preps will last. It's amazing. I need to reach out to him and get him back on here and do another live with him. And anytime he comes up with a new update, the software will update to the new version and all of that good stuff. It's an amazing system. I can't say enough about it. And it's better than me doing an Excel spreadsheet. And he has an online version and he has an offline version. I have the offline version, which is awesome. So, but folks, it is 9:26, going on 9:30. We've been here an hour and a half. Time flies when you're having fun. I truly hope that this has helped, or at least got everybody thinking, or at least pointed in the right direction. You can always leave comments on this video, and I personally read and respond and reply to every single comment I get. So if you have questions, you can always post a comment, or you can email me, visionpreparedness@gmail.com. And I will respond back to you. TX Lala, have a good evening, have a good night. Ghetto, what's going on, my brother? How you doing this evening? Canajalon, what did I miss? Almost everything, but catch the replay and it'll catch you back up. My Renaissance Grandma, you be blessed always. Stay blessed. Keep prepping. And thank you for the soap, my Renaissance Grandma, because now you have calmed down the disturbance and uproar in my household. because I handed out soap from you that you made that brought smiles to the face and now has kept everybody from trying to steal my soap because they all have their own now. But with that, folks, I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Um, I got a lot of stuff I'm working on that I'm not going to go into detail, but it's going to be some great stuff coming out, as well as working on next year's Bug Out Weekend, which everybody knows I'm extending it a day. It's now going to be 4 days. I got a lot of videos to drop coming out. Hope Bus, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And with that, folks, again, I truly appreciate everybody that came out to spend an hour and a half with me, because you didn't have to, and I know that for a fact, and I appreciate you. And with that, folks, here is what I mean from the bottom of my heart: keep prepping, because your family depends on you, and it depends on your life. God bless everybody. Have a safe and amazing evening, and I will see you in the next video. Vision Preparedness. God bless everybody. Stay safe and keep prepping. I'm Trent, and this is Vision Preparedness.